What's poppin', y'all? This is DJ with One Shot Game, man. You already know how the motto go. You get one shot at life, but a lifetime to learn all the game you need to help improve your life. The choice is yours on which route you choose to take. Now, as I always say, you get two choices. The ability to faithfully settle in the life that has been set out for you, or the ability to pave a path towards your destiny. That choice is also up to you. So before I get into the title of my video, I want to say a big shout out to all my supporters. You guys are great. And even the ones behind the scenes, I see y'all too. So, hey, look, the topic of this video is going to be on the fact that I am the type of person that can't understand some things that people do. You know what I'm saying? And they have people convinced that they are not aware of what they did. But I beg to differ, simply because you have to be able to take accountability for your wrongs and the things that you do, and something that I just can't process or understand. But again, it's an underlying game being played and everybody knows. So this is for the ones that don't know. How do you take a case to trial that you know you committed? Like, you took a murder that you got convicted of to trial, and you know you did it. That has got to be some type of underlying goddamn evil. Excuse my language, but I'm just being real. Like, you just have to be some type of really deeply evil to take a murder case to trial and act as if you didn't do it and you know you did it. You know what I'm saying? Listen. And this is for a lot of the people that back people up. I think it comes to a status, you know what I'm saying? To be able to protect a person's credibility by making them or making people think that they're not capable of doing something like that. You know what I'm saying? They'll have the mom and the dad, oh, he didn't do it. Listen, yes, they did. They did do it. Listen, they're guilty. The only thing that's going to happen at trial is the fact that everybody's going to know they're guilty. You know what I'm saying? Because in their mind, they thought that they can really get away with it. You know what I'm saying? Now, it's different if you go to trial because you know you really didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? And you know that you're going to get found innocent because you really didn't do it. But I feel like 95% of criminal cases are tried in court by people that know they fucking did the shit. How? What is the purpose of avoiding going to prison or even sitting in a jail cell to convince the world that you didn't do something that you know you really did? I don't understand how that works. I don't understand how people really be believing people are innocent because of your relation or the type of, relationship you got with them, that you believe in that this person didn't do it. Why don't you just go ahead, and play the background, send the money for the boxes and keep money on your phone, hey, and let it handle itself like that. But to sit in the stands of the trial and really just be, convinced that this person didn't do it when you know they did it, is beyond me. And then at the end of the day, going to trial, to me, I feel like, is a matter of mind manipulation. If that person has status or has money, and they're in a bigger network, oftentimes they don't do no time at all, or they get off. You know what I'm saying? You got to think about it. I read in too many hood books. The big drug cartels usually hire the best lawyers so they don't have to do no jail time for something that they really did for real. You know what I'm saying? But again, that's neither here nor there. But what I'm saying is, as a person, like for me, you know what I'm saying? For one, ain't nobody in the whole entire states of the world and the time I've been alive had made me so mad that I thought about taking their life. Ever. I've never, ever thought about taking someone's life. You know what I'm saying? Because they made me so mad. Now, I will say I said something to somebody that I've never said before, but it was in the heat of the moment because they were playing with something that I really love for real, which was my baby. And I was feeling some type of way that day. And I really said something that just slipped off my tongue. You know what I'm saying? So, again, me just being who I am, even in that, listen, I was way older when I said that. You know what I'm saying? But and I really didn't mean it. You know what I'm saying? But I was mad. But I've never thought about taking someone's life because of what they did to me, or, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what it be. People don't just go and take somebody's life for no reason. They either look like or did something that triggered you. That's why they took you took their life, or you took their life because, again, they did something to you, right? But for me personally, to know I did it and then get up on the stand and take it to trial and act like I didn't do it has got to be the most retardedest thing ever. That has to be a mental health disease at its finest. You know what I'm saying? And then the lawyers actually get on the stand and present all evidence to convince the jury that they really didn't do something that they really know they did. Not only does that give them the upper hand to be able to go out and do it again, you know what I'm saying? It also paints in people's minds the narrative of really truly believing that this person is innocent of something that they know they really did. Now, for me personally, I feel like no one in the world should make you mad enough to where you feel it's okay to take a human life. If you feel like that, you got some deep-rooted demons inside of you. You know what I'm saying? And that karma is stiff-arm. And I don't play with it. You know what I'm saying? You should be able, as a human being, to be able to rationalize, talk out, or come to a conclusion or disassociate from someone that has done something to you. But to wish harm on their life, you know what I'm saying, is beyond me. And then you actually get found guilty. They find you by preliminary evidence. They find you, you get locked up, and then you take it to trial because you're really still convinced that you didn't do it. What in the world is going on here? You know what I'm saying? And then you have the lawyers in your defense, and then you have the ones in the defense of the family. You know what I'm saying? But just to think, like, y'all really gotta get with me on this one. To get off and get away with something that was done to a loved one of yours when you know they really did it. Listen. In court, that would make me feel some type of way. Not necessarily with the suspect, but with the justice system. What is going on behind the scenes? What is it that we don't know behind the scenes that has it to where you just convict a whole jury that this person is innocent when they know they really did it? And it goes vice versa. You can think about it on a different way. How many people who are actually innocent and convicted of crimes and spend 17 to 20 years in prison and then get out and get exonerated for something that they knew they didn't do the whole entire time? What is going on back there? You know what I'm saying? That we are unaware of. That is taking human souls for no reason. You know what I'm saying? And exchanging ones with, for me personally, I just could not convict an innocent person because of the status I would get from getting someone to be guilty for this case. But in the long run, I know, just like they know, they didn't do it. But even worse, to know that I'm a lawyer who just got this person innocent of all charges, and I know, just like they know, that they did it. Listen, you probably be at home drinking all the bottles. You probably become an alcoholic because you know deep down that you just let someone get off that really committed a murder. You withheld evidence. You told the narrative from your way to convince people that this person was innocent when everybody know goddamn well that that person killed that person. That don't make you feel some type of way? No? You niggas really gotta be working for the dark side. And you go and you commit cases like that. Now you got a high get off rate, so everybody wants you. because you're the one that's going to get people off when people know they really did the shit. So imagine on a soul level how that can eat you up behind the scenes, because you know for a fact you convicted innocent people of crimes they didn't commit. Or you let people get off of crimes they really did commit because of something that's going on behind the scenes that we don't see. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I'm telling you, just from me and my own personal perspective, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like sometimes you do things for the benefit of yourself without thinking of how they would affect another person. You know what I'm saying? But I guess for me it's a little bit different, because I feel like the things I've done when I did that were little. And they may not have been little to the other person, but they felt little to me. And you can't go back and change them. But to do something on a grand scale like that, and then, you know what I'm saying, get off, or, you know what I'm saying, present evidence or tell the story from your narrative to convict a person, you know what I'm saying, of being innocent that really did commit a murder, and the family goes home with an innocent verdict, and they have to deal with the fact that their family member's never coming back, and you know deep down inside as a lawyer that you just let a person walk that you know really did it. How much money is being negotiated behind the scenes? What threats to your reputation did you receive to have to go through with that? You know what I'm saying? I just couldn't. I just couldn't. Listen. You couldn't pay me enough to get you off when it comes to murder when I know you did it. Like, I'm just not rooting on that side. I can't. You feel me? It doesn't matter what that person may have done to you. They got family, they got loved ones, and you felt like whatever they did to you was justifiable for you killing them. And listen, you got to think about it. Listen, going into the 70s and the 80s and crack epidemic and all that, most of the time, people kill people over money. And it may not even be a lot, but it's not about the money, it's the principle. You know what I'm saying? Of being able to be like, it's about the money, so it's a soul tie ties to that, because you just took somebody's life. You feel me? Over some money that's gonna keep circulating. You gonna get that money back. You know what I'm saying? But that person's life you won't. You know, so it can go a number of ways, but when it comes to this justice system, you know what I'm saying? Who was paid? Who was put to the top of the totem pole by convicting people of crimes that you know they didn't do? You know what I'm saying? You know they were innocent. You know they didn't do it. And you convicted them and made them spend their life in prison for something they didn't do. You mean to tell me that you didn't go home and have at least one shot knowing you moved wrong to protect somebody else? And even the ones that high profile cases. Listen, I'm just gonna be honest. I'm gonna be real. O.J. Simpson did the shit. We all know the nigga did the shit. How come he was able to get off? Why? You know what I'm saying? Granted, he did go to prison. He did some time. I get that. I understand that. But he got out, and shortly after he got out, he died. No disrespect to the dead, but what I'm saying is, sometimes you got to be able to eat that. You got to be able to pay for that, because you know deep down you did it. You know what I'm saying? You know deep down you did it. You didn't even get to live a life probably after too much longer after you got out of prison. That was the universe handing what you did to you on a silver platter. I'm not gonna, you feel me, make you pass away incarcerated. I'm gonna let you get out and think your life is good, and then I'm gonna take your life. That's fucked up. But then at the same time, it's not, especially if you know you did that. He know he did it. Everybody know he did it. You know what I'm saying? But he was able to get off. Why? What is the bigger game being played that we don't see? You know what I'm saying? And why is it like that? Why is it justifiable for people to get off with taking human lives due to a corrupted system? You know what I'm saying? It's wrong. It's backwards to me. It don't really make any sense at all. You know what I'm saying? That is okay. And then the ones that are innocent and spend like 15 to 20 years in prison, and then only to find out later on that they were innocent the whole entire time, that not only is a blow to the family that you thought that you got justice for. It's also a blow to the justice system, because now y'all have to figure out where to get this money from to pay this person for all the years they spent in prison. Where does that money come from? Because I'm pretty sure the money y'all got paid to convict an innocent person was already spent. So where does that money come from exactly? Listen, it's deep. It's way deeper than anybody will ever believe. But for me personally, if I know that I did something wrong, I'm not going to trial. I'm not going to look like a dumbass in front of a jury when I know that I did it. You know what I'm saying? And you got to think about it. 95% of the people take it to trial. 90% of the people get convicted. And it'd be like, so you went through all that, why? Because in your mind, the best lawyer, the one that can lie and convince people to lie the most, is the ones that'll be able to get you off. It's a lot of people in the world like that. They're so convinced that they and what they did is justifiable for treating people wrong because of them playing the victim. That shit is weird to me. You know what I'm saying? When they know they dead wrong, but they really got it convinced in their mind the reason why they did what they did is because you did something to them, when in reality you didn't do anything to them. And if you did, it didn't justify the wrong that they did against you. You know what I'm saying? It's the internal battle niggas be having inside themselves that really be out here, you know what I'm saying, taking folks down. That is creepily insane to me. You know what I'm saying? And listen, it ain't even just the justice system. I deal with people on a daily who will deflect from what they did and think that their actions is justifiable because you may have hurt their ego or their pride in some type of way. You never directly did anything to them, but their ego and their pride so fragile, that's justifiable for why they can do something to you and cause harm and get away with it and won't nothing happen. Only because their pride and ego is bruised, not because you directly did something to them. And it's 1,001 people that think like that back them up, and they're able to get away with that shit. Listen, that's weird to me. Don't go to trial knowing you did it. You know how worse of a person that makes you look? Because you spent thousands of dollars, you had people get on the stand, you got support from family members that's trying to convince the majority of people that you didn't do something that you know you did. Morally incorrect. Morally wrong. And then you go to prison like it's a badge of honor. And you get in there and start bumping your gums. You know what I'm saying? Now, the code is you're not supposed to get in there and talk about your case. But again, people do it all the time. You just got to be able to realize that people are going to talk. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? But I just couldn't, as a person, know that I did something foul to somebody and then get up and act like I didn't do anything. You feel me? You brainwashing the people that supported that person when you know you did it. You know what I'm saying? That's fucked up. That's deep. You know what I'm saying? That's deep. And you got to think how a lot of these corporate figures, you know what I'm saying, was able to get away with the fact that they was probably alcoholics behind the scenes. Watch Power. You know what I'm saying? And the people on the lower level, you feel me, wasn't able to get away with it, but they were. Whole time, you feel me, they convicting innocent souls. They letting people who really like that get off. You know what I'm saying? That's fucked up. I couldn't live with that. You know what I'm saying? Listen, when it probably would, if I know that my status was getting improved because of that, I felt like somebody because I was actually getting real criminals off and convicting innocent people, but I was rich and my pockets was fat. That shit eating you up. It's probably eating you up still right now. You know what I'm saying? Slow though. So you can realize and understand what you did to people and their families because you felt justifiable for doing that. Facts. You got to think about it. If I'm a lawyer and I'm broke and somebody give me $20,000 to cut out evidence to convict this person that they really did something, I don't give a fuck about the family. All I care about is this $20,000 that's about to lace my pockets. I'm about to go home and probably cash out on a BMW while the family of the victim is at home suffering. They'll never know, because I made sure I discarded any evidence that would lead back to the fact that this person is guilty and lead back to the fact that I lied about it. Listen, but I'm telling you, when them soul ties starts to becoming real, it's almost as if you overlook something. You miss something. You know what I'm saying? People start waking up and realizing, like, listen, this could easily happen to me. This person really be lying. I think I'm going to go back and, you feel me, get evidence that they thought I threw out to go against them. Hey, this is deep and it's real. But again, like I said, it happens to a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like if you do something against someone or you commit a crime, do your time. Stop acting like and running from the fact that you know you was like that. And that's the type of shit you was on. Sit in there and do your time. You know what I'm saying? To get on the stand in a trial and, you know what I'm saying, act like you didn't do it. That's why they hire lawyers. You know what I'm saying? Because most of the time they know the better the lawyer, the better the one that can convince the people that they didn't do it. Hey, I done been around some people like that in real life. They wasn't no lawyers, but they'd convince you that they didn't do some shit when they know they really did. You know what I'm saying? Because public defenders, they're trying to level up in the game, so their conviction rate has to be high, so I guess that they can become a lawyer. And they only represent people that don't got no money. You know what I'm saying? Hey, listen, this deep. It go really deep. And you got to really think about it on a scale. But people oftentimes can't because it's not related to them. But for someone who experienced it in real life, you just got to understand. You feel me? What type of understanding or compassion do you have for knowing that you convicted someone that was innocent? And then when it's discovered of the fact that you did that on a lot of cases, you now want to repent and feel sorry for the fact that you are now spending time in jail because you got caught. What in the world? That's not a mental health issue? These people oftentimes don't get convicted of having any mental health issues. They are actually able to survive in life by thinking that way and convince everybody else to think that way, to where nobody feel as if, you know what I'm saying, it's wrong to do that. Because again, like I said, it get deep. I'm pretty sure there are a lot of people that knew that at some point it will come a time where they will have to pay for that. They seen it ahead of time. So it's like, listen, try to get everybody that you think is going to speak the truth behind bars, or else we're going to start losing some shit. And we might not be prepared for that. So let's come up with a good enough story so that they don't start to speak the truth. But this is reality. You know what I'm saying? And this is something that people should start to understand. I just could never go out into the world, hurt someone, and then go to trial like I didn't do it. And then get convicted and go to prison and still act like I didn't do it. That is beyond me. And it should be beyond you too. Of how over time it has been a lot of people who went back home to their families who really did the shit, monsters, and people who were innocent, who had their whole life stolen from them and their brains corrupted by sitting somewhere where their whole life was controlled because of something they didn't do, but nobody believed them. They believed the people that sat on a totem pole. So listen, if you don't know what it is, I just told you. Please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe.